So Dana, a minute ago we were talking about logos as a mark, and there was a difference between descriptive and generic. Tell me what that means.
Trademarks are judged on what might be considered a spectrum of protectability. Very strong marks are highly protectable. Very weak marks aren't very protectable. Some marks aren't protectable at all. We wouldn't even consider them capable of distinguishing a good or a service. We would call those generic words.
Sure.
So you can't trademark the word table. It's generic for something that we know as the table.
Right.
A chair, dog food. These are generic on this spectrum of protectability and never capable of distinguishing a source and therefore never capable of being a trademark. Moving up a little bit, we have descriptive trademarks. These are trademarks that describe the thing. This table is hard. It's a little shiny. It's dark. These are descriptive words that are capable of doing something to distinguish the source if they're added to other words or, for example, added to a logo. But those words aren't independently trademarkable in most cases.
Sure.
Moving along the spectrum, you have trademarks that are suggestive. This is the most common space. In fact, there's a spectrum within suggestive. You can imagine trademarks that are highly suggestive, almost describing the thing, and trademarks that are very creative in the way they suggest, but they're still suggestive. You know something about the product by virtue of the trademark being suggestive. Quilted, using words like that for tissue. It might not actually describe the product, but might suggest something about them.
Sure.
That makes you envision something about the product.
Sure.
And ultimately, the strongest marks are arbitrary or fanciful marks. These are marks like Panasonic, Kodak.
Made up words.
Completely made up words, coined words that somebody has made up.
Sure.
And those words are not only incredibly strong, but in some cases can be protected beyond the scope of one good or service. Because it's a made-up word, no one's ever going to think that Kodak should be anything other than a product that comes
Right.
from that company.